not at all like this. It was just a little bit too much of this. You know, you couldn't even sit down and read a book. You would have to explain why you are doing that. Because as long as you had power to run, you had to run. That's the German logic. You know, reading books. Prabhupada, realized that what are they doing? They are distributing tons of books, but nobody is reading them. So he wrote even a letter. These books are for you. You have to read them, Germans like, okay, hey, power, of course. We believe in Nishingadev, we believe in Krishna, we believe this. Let's go out and kill them all. Yeah! Hail! Hail Goranga! And it was all bang bang. That was a team I actually joined, It was like, and I was just completely in my own world, dreaming artist. I wrote poems and I was just living from the images of my mind right away in the morning. So I came in a temple and I was like, yeah, I feel very good about Krishna consciousness. And there was these heavy guys walking around, but they were radiant. They were just ecstatic. He said, feeling? Are you in Maya? You don't feel anything here. Or you have nothing to do. So I was just bang in the morning. It was like they got stepped up on right away, before the Mangala, instead of running to the shower. And just bam, 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 bam. And all this oil in the Mangala. The kirtan was so roaring in the Mangala already, it was just the walls were shaking, It was not some samsara, they were just saying, he's sick. They would just immediately take the Medanga away from him. The Medangas were bloody all the time. I remember bloody Medangas only when I joined. Because the kirtans were so long and so fierce that all the Medangas were bloody. All the Medanga players had taped fingers like boxing guys, they had to tape fingers all the time. And they were proud of it. I remember this one devotee coming out of the kirtan. 3 hour kirtan was not exceptional, that was Saturday night. He came out of the kirtan, it was just sweating, the window, there was liquid running down, it was boiling hot, everybody totally soaking that. And then he said, that was a good kirtan, the last one, I passed even black urine after that. It was like, rah. That was the mood I joined, and I was like, I mean, they practically sent me home almost, because I was not a German, But I gained my credit, and I knew the only way to stay here and get some, you could call it recognition, was to distribute books. And as soon as I start to, come to number 1, then they were, okay, you are one of us. That was the ticket to Krishna consciousness those days. So, but it was powered by passion, of course, passion. So, and some left as well, because they simply forgot what they were doing, And there was lots of speculations flying around too, but it was overpowered all by this action. And of course you have to grow up, you cannot stay like this. Nowadays German is less like that, not completely changed, less. They always have Goranga, you cannot stop this. I was just laughing last time I was in Berlin Temple, devotees getting ready for the marathon. Not many, 10 people. The sound coming from that, just packing the bags, getting in a car and getting on marathon, it was like you could think there was 100 people in these 2-3 rooms. Bam, 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 bam. There was a sound coming out like a marching army. That's the nature, that's the modes. And you cannot explain to people you are in these modes because they are in these modes. The same thing you cannot say to a man you are crazy because he's crazy. You go, what do you mean? Crazy. And you go, well, sorry, but you are cuckoo. And he goes, no, I think you are cuckoo. What can you do? You cannot change. The person is locked up. Unless he himself doesn't come and have a doubt. So that's where devotee starts. Devotee is somebody who is doubting his status. He knows something is wrong here. I tried this, I tried that, nothing worked out. Somehow And then one inquires, starts to ask questions. And as soon as the questions come, then comes the answer. You know, it's one reporter very upset. You, Hare Krishna, see an answer for everything. He found it like the final proof that we are mad. Because in a democratic society, you cannot answer for everything. You have to have an answer, and then he has an answer, and he has an answer too, and then we have to discuss. And then more questions come up, and no answers. And then more questions come up, and no answers. And when everybody is totally confused, well, that's democracy. No conclusion. There cannot be a conclusion. There cannot be the Supreme Personality said. There must be some anti-Supreme Personality. And they will have a dialogue. And you sit and judge. What did Krishna number one said? And what did Krishna number 2 said? Problem is there is only Krishna number 1. Oh, that's intimidating. Very difficult to accept for the conditioned soul. So they are different devotees. So then I found, as a bhakta, 2 brahmacharis beating each other in a garage, in a temple. I start to a little bit wonder, is this all pure devotees here? Or what is it? This moment comes to every devotee. And it's a very dangerous moment. Because then the foolish ones may start to conclude already, prematurely conclude that, hey, listen, this is not, he is crazy and he is wrong and he's not perfect. There's nobody perfect here. Something wrong with this place. Nobody is perfect. You know, that's a dangerous thought. Usually it totally excludes the thought, am I perfect? This is not important. Important is everybody here is perfect. Is he perfect? No. He's snoring at night. Is he perfect? No. He's always overeating with horror. Is he perfect? No. He's got digestion problems. Is he perfect? Nah. He hardly reads the books. You know? And then you start to see like this. And the more you read, the worse it gets. Because you get the knowledge, but you don't know what to do with it. And you don't know how it works. Then doubt comes. The foolish ones, the really foolish ones, that's how you leave Krishna consciousness, they doubt the whole process altogether. They start to think, look, I mean, he's chanting. How long do I chant him? I'm chanting 6 years. You're still such an idiot. Then the process cannot work. It's something wrong with this, right? So many Mangala articles, so much hearing, so much Bhagavatam, and he's still an idiot. You know, the process doesn't work. It's the foolish ones. And the more intelligent ones, they go, yeah, well, we have the perfect process, but the application is not the real thing. So on this point, I would like to read a letter from Srila Prabhupada, which very beautifully clarifies the whole issue. Yeah. Just bear with me, I have to... Obviously, Prabhupada got a letter which was a little bit on this line. Obviously somebody wrote in a letter, you can very easily from Prabhupada's answers because they are so accurate. And so Prabhupada is rephrasing sometimes the question, but they are so precise, so you can see probably what the question actually was. And you don't have the letter, which was written to him. So Prabhupada writes, regarding your final question, it is a fact that one is in contact with Krishna, his name, his qualities, his form, his pastimes, immediately he becomes purified. But because we are conscious living entities, the proportion of purification depends on our conscious acceptance. That word, conscious acceptance, is important. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that Lord Krishna responds proportionally to the service of the devotee. Another example is that the sunlight is open for everyone and for every place. But to enjoy the sunlight or to take advantage of the sunlight, depends on the proportionate arrangement by the receiver. Prosecution of devotional service means gradual purification and proportionate revelation of Krishna consciousness. So here you find the difference between the devotees. It's the receiver which counts. Like we have a radio transmission right now here going on in this room. Does somebody hear something? No, because we have no radio. The transmission goes on all of it, but where's the antenna? And there's the receiver. So in this way you learn to understand the varieties even between devotees. One is receiving more, one is receiving less, one is more consciously following, the other one is more unconsciously following. There are different levels of realization. But Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, they are all saintly. Why? Because they accept the process. If somebody doesn't accept the process, or to speak of inventing his own process, sorry, he has no place on Krishna consciousness. So we have to tell sometimes people, yes, very nice what you are saying here, great, and what did you say? Oh, please start your own movement, go out there. We have our blessings. I bless you. Be a guru and God on your own. Bye-bye. That line has to be drawn. So for this Mayavada oneness is so deadly. And therefore so much faith is lost. Because devotees always expect something which cannot be expected. It's a hospital. In a hospital, you don't go around the hospital and go, you are sick, you are sick, you are sick. Of course they are all sick. Otherwise why they are in a hospital? But the beauty is that they are in a hospital and we have the best medicine and we have the best chief of the hospital. So when the patient is lying there, he may still have a 39-degree fever, but he's praising, the chief of the hospital. Thank you for the medicine, wonderful, wonderful. He's actually considered saintly. That doesn't mean he doesn't have a fever. And the fever comes and goes. So what? Tomorrow he has another fever. And maybe he doesn't have a fever at all. You think, now he became a pure devotee. No fever. But by circumstances, the fever can come back. Therefore Prabhupada even said, pray for me that I don't fall down. Because by association, by infection, suddenly the desire comes up again. The desires, we know, they are like in a seed form. A little water, a little fertile earth, boop, comes up. And we go, I didn't know I have such a desire even. And the mind immediately goes, think about it. And the intelligence goes, yeah, it's a good thought. What could we do about it to put it in reality? What was you thinking? You were just thinking something, isn't it? There's a whole conspiracy going out there. It just sprouts from this one material desire. And in this way, you can become anything in this world. You can go mad in any kind of way you can imagine. Anything. Material nature can do anything to you, including putting you in 8,400,000 species. You don't think the bird sitting on a tree in a springtime, singing, it couldn't be you. In the last lifetimes or in the future lifetimes, whatever, it could be you. Being put in such a body. People don't make the connection. They think, I'm a human forever. Are you? Really? What about if you become a snake, if you become anything? Material nature is an endless shopping house. You can go and make your deal. So therefore it's a dangerous place. So one should see Krishna consciousness in a realistic way, then there will be no loss of faith and no frustrations. How could he do that? Anybody can do anything in this world. No problem. I don't want to go in details and give you practical examples. I could go day and night on this. You think this Manidhara form sitting in front of you is granted? I can even tell you how Manidhara and Maya could look like. The design is already there, right there on the wall. Just painted by my karma. That you could read. And Maya goes, why not? Try it out. And then I say to Maya, it didn't work last time. Maya goes, well, that's because you were young and you didn't do it really right, but now you have a chance. Sometimes in Krishna consciousness it comes around. Some fame, some name, some money. Ooh. In Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj wrote this deeply sarcastical poem about Vyasa Puja. He said, look at this big pig sitting on that big seat. Now they gave him even a garland. He was, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was the embodiment of detachment. You look even at the photo, when he sits there, still a young man, along with Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his huge family. Bhaktivinoda Thakur family photo just hardly fits into the photography, So many, such a big family. And at the edge, you have some figure sitting there like halfway turned almost to the rest of the club. And just, okay. Okay. Now I have to sit on a family photo. It's just looking at that photo, it's right away there. He joked even about his father, but this is transcendental. This is something we are speaking about. Unbelievable devotees. But he didn't joke about his father because Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj had no family. He was Naishti Brahmacharya and his father, big family, so he called him the big family man. This kind of mocking relationship, loving. That's family. So this is the training we get here. So we should be realistic, not sentimental. Oh, Vaishnava! And the Vaishnava goes in, and does something we don't even mention here. You go, oh, how can a Vaishnava do such a thing? Well, he wasn't obviously such a Vaishnava. So Prabhupada discriminates between two situations. The devotee actually gets deranged and deformed by weakness. That's one. And there Prabhupada was always very merciful. He always kept the door open. But when that weakness was then formed as a new religion or became philosophically explained, which cannot be explained, that's cheating. And when such a deviant devotee start to collect followers, that Prabhupada showed his mercy in another way. It was so heavy you cannot imagine. It was so heavy. Because he knew, now he cheats even others. He is in illusion and he is illusioning others. So that mistakes we should avoid. But it's not difficult. As long as we are somewhat honest to ourselves. Say, okay. When people challenge you, you talk all the time, this high knowledge, are you perfect? I mean, why not just be honest? No, I'm not perfect. But I follow somebody who is. By the way, who do you follow? I don't follow anybody. Really? Oh, of course you do. You just quoted to me in the last 5 minutes any Mayavadi you heard down the road. Of course you follow. What is your opinion? In Germany it was really unbelievable. People always going, Hare Krishna, I hate this. We go, why? But it was in the newspaper, blah, 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 blah. And then we got always these newspaper headlines because we were very intensely attacked by the media. And we said, no, that's okay. I read it also in the newspaper, but what's your opinion? And my opinion is that, blah, 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 blah. Again, the same quotation. It became so stereotyped that we could rephrase it. It was always about the big guru in America who has all the money and the brainwashed victims collecting for him. It was basically the guideline of all these newspaper articles. So we just laugh. We heard it so many times every day on the street, people coming up with this. They were just going, guru, 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 money, 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 guru, 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 money, money, money. If they were a little bit more intelligent, I said, if you could give a little bit more donation. My guru has a golden Rolls Royce. Yesterday he had a little car accident. You know how much it cost a bumper, from a golden Rolls Royce? If you could give a little bit more, please. And they just looked at me and either they got fed up and walked out or they just started to laugh. It was so idiotic. That's why I got my training in Germany. I have no faith in people's brains. Zero. Bunch of sheep. The newspaper. The TV. The internet. You cannot. They train them for this in a school. I mean, you look at the school kids coming in. They are more like a well-groomed salad. Head like a salad head, Here's some question. Hey, come up with some question. Do you have homosexuals in Krishna consciousness? What has this to do with what I said? I mean, what homosexual? Are you homosexual or what? No. Why are you asking this? What does homosexual mean to you? Nothing. It's a minority, fine, but nothing. Why are you asking such a stupid thing? Well, I have nothing else to ask. Because they told me in the school to ask this. There's issues being raised, very important issues. How many dogs are there in Copenhagen? You have to write a big article about this in the school. Or whatever it is. They always invent these entirely irrelevant issues and hook people on that. Therefore sports are so important. Because they keep people busy. Hey, Denmark is playing against Germany. Oh. And everybody, and then meanwhile you completely forget that you go to hell. You don't even know who you are. You don't know where you came from. And you don't know where you go to. But important is this, who is going to win, Denmark or Germany? It's called Olympic Games. And everybody watching and discussing and, always programming people what to think. And then they tell us we are brainwashing people. That was a big issue in the 70s and 80s. Come on. They are teaching people how to think. We always challenge, questions, please. Start to think. Do you think? Yes, I think. I have to get a new job. That's okay. But what else? Job for what? When the money arrives on your bank account, what will you do with it? What? I will buy something. And then I have it. And when it's broken, I buy something new. And that I will do my whole life. I can even buy myself a holiday. I will go 2 weeks to the Maldives or whatever. And I will sit there in the ocean thinking what else I should buy. And then I will work and buy. And buy and work. And work and buy. And buy and work. There's a new shopping house around the corner. They just open it so I can buy more. We are advancing. This is an advancement of society. We need more shopping houses. And we have to buy more, work more, buy more. Then we feel good. Of course, sometimes somebody dies and then you cannot buy anything anymore, but that's a detail. Just do it. That's what we should address in our preaching. Forget Rasa Leela. Forget this thing. First, people have to get this point across. Prabhupada said, if you don't grow pessimistic over the material energy, you cannot be optimistic over spiritual life. Never Prabhupada spent much time discussing the horrors of this world, much time discussing how everything is based on sex life. He spent much time with that. And he was criticized for that too. It's so negative all the time. So depressing to hear this. Yeah, before you wake up and really don't get doubtful about this world, you cannot be optimistic about Krishna. And we should be careful to see Krishna consciousness in a realistic way, not designate ourselves. he is a Vaishnava here and devotee there. Let's see what kind of Vaishnava, let's see what kind of devotee becomes real. But let's share Prabhupada's medicine and enjoy our existence in this wonderful hospital he built for us. Then we can be quite happy people. Because happy you can be only in reality. In illusion there is no happiness. There's no questions? No?
Just to this last point, when you're preaching to new people, what should you focus on? Like inspiring spiritually or discouraging materially, or a nice blend of both?
Both. First, you address. It's a good thing like yesterday you did that, are you Muslim? And then you just said something. What was this? You didn't say Allah Akbar.
I said Alhamdulillah. I picked that up from Nikilananda Prabhu. Means God is beautiful. Alhamdulillah.
How can they say God is beautiful when they are forbidden to meditate about any image of God? What do they mean by that? This coming from a Muslim is shocking. What are you talking about? Because they are really heavy on that point. God has no form, cannot have any form. It's Allah and finished. What do you mean God is beautiful? Yes, we fully agree, but what do you mean by that? We can tell you what it is. But he was very, very happy that, that there was not immediately the image confirmed that we are just fanatics like the Muslims very often are. What, we are not the Muslim? Oh, where's my Kalashnikov? This is nuts. It's fanatism. So when people discover we are not like that, this is a very good start to preach. Yeah. So, and then you establish, you make him comfortable. Especially because he was coming to us. Right? When somebody stops and comes and looks, then he's already some level of interest. So one can use that. Why not discourage? Why to discourage that? Yeah. So that has to be done. It requires training. And also one has to be empowered. Therefore, squeezing oneself in from preaching lines, one should do it responsibly. Especially in Denmark. Any kind of, eccentric, outgoing, aggressive type of preaching doesn't find any. You cannot do that here. Out of question. It's completely counterproductive. Therefore, this Vegetarian Satya is such a beautiful program because it's just, you eat something. And here, we are singing. It doesn't project any fanatical thing whatsoever. So this is acceptable. And from there on, you go along the, level the person is at. And it requires the training. Preaching has to be trained. And better trained from those who are already trained. I had the benefit that I had association with really expert preachers. If somebody makes certain bhaktas, certain people join full time in Berlin, out of that city, then he must be really empowered. Yeah, it's practical. All this preaching, nobody coming. Now sometimes it happens. There are such stretches where you have to be patient. I remember in Switzerland there was nobody coming for 8 years. And there was so much book distribution and not really that kind of preaching we have here, but book distribution was heavy and nobody joined. There was even voices. What? In such a small country, And then some Sankirtani was like, there's one village there in Switzerland. There's a bunch of boys and they really like it, They always start to chant. There was no congregation preaching.